Hello, and welcome to number 58 of the LowerBitrate Podcast. Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Today is January 27th. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Quick reminder, subscribe to the YouTube, or I will punch you. Right in your gut. Right in your gamer gut.
Also, check out our website, please. No violence will be inflicted upon you. It's lowerbitrate.com. Still crispy as fuck.
Asterisk, if you sub to the YouTube, no violence will be inflicted on you. Thank you. What a week. How was your week?
Yeah. My week was really tough, but some good things are still happy with my foster kitty. He's a real sweet boy. Anyone looking to adopt a cat in Austin, or even if you live in the surrounding Austin area, let me know. He's a cutie. I played some Animal Crossing. It's odd living in South Texas where it's like 70 degrees most days now, and it's still the snowflake season in Animal Crossing. I'm kind of over it. So ready for more content to release, but still playing that game casually. I'm gonna, I got all set up. I played some more Luigi's Mansion 3 because a special request by my nephew. He wants to see the game again. So I'm just, I started Bug Snacks over again for him. I'm going to start Luigi's Mansion 3 over again. So I got through the beginning so we could jump right into the gameplay. He really likes that game. It's so cute.
When is he getting his own console?
Right. I got to see him yesterday. We'll meet at a smoothie place and do a socially distanced thing, just drink our smoothies outside with masks on. And so I was talking to him about games, hey, how's it going? And I gave him an emulator that was a phone case. So it costs $13. So I was like, here, kid, break this. He's almost there where he can have small kind of expensive electronics, because I gave him my Switch case because I trusted him. And then he came back with the Switch case and all 7 of my little cartridges were missing from the Switch case. And I was like, my eye was twitching and I was like, hey bud, where are they? So he just, things like that where I'm kind of like, oh, we're almost there. I want to give him my Bit Boy, and I told him, when you're 5, I'm going to give you something else to play with. It's cute. He loves to play Pac-Man, and he was asking me all these questions. Oh my gosh, I'm almost done. But he was like, how do I play Pac-Man? How do I win? What's the goal? Just gamer mind, I was so proud of him. So soon, those 2DSs I think they made for kids, the ones that don't fold. Mm-hmm. There's no hinge. I saw that those were under 150 used on Amazon, but I'm wondering if I could get it from a local retailer.
Those are, maybe secondhand, but they don't have. I was looking pre-pandemic, I was looking for a 3DS to do unsavory internet activities, and I couldn't find one. I could not find one.
They were selling them when I looked maybe a couple months ago, reselling them on Amazon, I thought.
But Amazon resellers, typically it's a little bit more money. So what I would do is I would go, a good option would be check Mercari, or it's an app on your phone, or Let Go. Oh no, I think Let Go and Mercari are the same thing, or OfferUp or something like that. I know it might be a little sketch to meet up with somebody, but you'll get a better deal like that, or on eBay. Just sanitize the shit out of it.
There's a local, not a chain game reseller pretty close, and so I'll call them first and see. There's actually 2 I like, but obviously haven't been to them in a while, but I'd like to support them if they have one. I got my Toad amiibo from there for $10 from one of those little resellers. So happy. One of my like happiest finds. Anyway, last thing is I've been watching Disenchantment again. I restarted season 2 and I'm going to then go through season 3. I don't have anything else to watch. I was thinking about rewatching Lupin. I liked it so much.
Really?
Lou, you need to watch it.
Soon.
It reminds me of Killing Eve, just maybe the pace and the, criminal kind of mastermind. Yeah, but Disenchantment's great. I really recommend it, especially if you liked Futurama. It's very funny.
Nice.
How was your week?
Pretty good. On the TV front, I'm going to be watching a little bit more TV because I got a new TV.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a roller coaster there.
Why?
Well, one, for me, it's expensive. It's a nice chunk of money for a TV, but I did my research and felt that it was a good investment, especially since, well, not investment, it was a good purchase because I got the PS5 and I wasn't really happy with how it was looking and playing on a budget 4K TV that I got for like less than $300.
Huh.
So yeah, I made the plunge or whatever. It was a roller coaster because it was sold out in my area on Best Buy, and I tried to get it open box, and then it went back in stock for $20 more for brand new, and I canceled the order the same day. It took 2 days for my credit card to clear the funds, LOL, and I almost missed it again. But I think on like Saturday, my stuff came back to my credit card, and I got the TV earlier than usual. I got it on Monday, 2 days ago, and for the same sale price, the really good price that I canceled initially for.
How big is the TV?
Smaller. It's 55 inches.
That's bigger than the TV I have in my living room.
Yeah, the other one I had was 65, and it's right in front of my bed. So as you can imagine, everything is blown up to hell on that TV. So move that motherfucker to the living room, and then I put this one in. I was very scared putting up the TV. I have like a little stand that suspends the TV in air. This TV is so thin, I thought I broke it.
You have it mounted to the wall, is what you're saying?
No, it's a stand. So it like elevates it.
You just put the stand on top of all your cologne?
Yes.
Your pop boxes?
Mm-hmm. No, but it goes in the middle of my little TV stand, but my bed is like parallel to the TV stand, right? So like my legs and my covers would be in the way of the TV, so it just elevates it, I don't know, maybe like 10 inches or so.
How far away are your eyeballs from this screen?
6 feet, 7 feet.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a little close.
It's close, but it's fine. So yeah, got that. Oh man. I'm going through the PlayStation games that I've missed. And I'm currently playing God of War.
Mm-hmm.
That game looks beautiful.
Which God of War?
The 2018 remake. Or reboot, I guess. Really, really good. It's like Dark Souls light. Like Fisher Price, my first Dark Souls with the gameplay.
Yeah.
But
where they want you to finish because of the story.
Yeah, you could definitely play like on an easier difficulty. You don't want to, be mashing buttons and stuff, sweating. Yeah, really, really beautiful game. I played Destiny on the Crucible just to test it out. Because apparently, if your TV supports it, you can play at 120 frames in the Crucible on console, which is fucking bonkers at 4K. Still sucks using a controller, in my opinion, but it was pretty dope, pretty cool.
Are you using? Do you blue light blocking glasses?
Yeah. I I only use that when I'm at the computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I noticed a huge, oh my gosh, PSA, but I have all my glasses have the blue light blocking on them. I get cheap glasses online, like plastic frames, but because I crunch them, I'm rough with them. But all of them are able to have that like blue light blocking film on it, and it's really nice. I noticed a huge difference with my sleep. I think it's worth it. I would wear it even when you're looking at your phone. Like, don't let that blue light into your brain.
Yeah, it's really bad. Keeps you up.
5G,
5G
it blocks
waves.
it too.
Mm.
Blocks the 5G from soaking into your eyeballs.
Exactly. Other than that, pretty excited to watch The Mandalorian again. My girlfriend's been on a journey going through Star Wars chronologically.
Wow. That's like doing the Marvel thing.
Yeah, on a lesser scale though. I told her to skip the TV shows because she'll never get to The Mandalorian because there's like fucking 7 seasons of the Clone Wars and she'd probably still be on that.
And those have a bit more of a flavor of kind of like a adjacent universe.
Right. There's a lot of like off the cuff stuff that like in between filling out the gaps. So I told her to skip all the like Star Wars Rebels, Attack of the Clones, maybe go back and like watch them later, but in my opinion, I don't think you need to watch it. Yeah, so she enjoyed the first 3. I was like, oh, wait till you get to the next 3. She's like, oh, I like them all. I was like, wait till you get to the next 3 horrible movies. Yeah, so we're gonna watch The Mandalorian. Excited about that. And segue into the first thing we have to talk about, stonks.
Mm-hmm.
So last year I got into the stonk game on a lesser scale. I'm not sitting here blowing money into it. A little here, a little there, dabbling, nothing too crazy. Very conservative with my whole stock portfolio.
We're not talking about turnips here.
No. We're talking about real life monies, real pennies.
Game stonks.
So GameStop is tradition. Everybody knows GameStop here. If you're a gamer, you've had an interaction with GameStop at least once in your life, or EB Games, or Funko Land, or whatever the fuck it is. You've had an experience with one of these stores. GameStop
Probably a negative experience.
most likely, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So GameStop is touted as like a shit company, right? Their model is really outdated, and they've been burning money, ever since who remembers. In my opinion, I think the only thing that's keeping them afloat is like the government subsidy programs for keeping places open, and the other effect is that they're getting consoles. I got my console from GameStop, right? So in my opinion, if there was no pandemic and consoles were aplenty, I don't think GameStop would be open right now. I think they'd be closed for good. So
some retailers have been able to remain open. Like GameStop, the only money I spend there, if I go in or look at their website, is on merch.
Right.
Like they have really cute Nintendo merch that I like to buy. So yeah, I wonder if that's enough to keep them in business.
Yeah, we could go on and on about that, because we could even do a whole episode about that. There was some talk about them being like what you said, like a collectibles, like pivoting to collectibles instead of games. I don't know, but when I saw their stock, it was $7. A couple months ago, it was about 10. Maybe it hit 19. It's at $300+ right now.
Oh.
If I could give you the exact number right now, GameStop stock is at $331. It is, I mean, It opened or closed yesterday at 147. So what's happening right now? People are getting squeezed.
Hmm.
Good old Reddit coming to the rescue. So I don't want to bore you, but a lot of hedge funds and financial institutions do things called shorts. Basically, they want to fuck you out of money. They're betting against your failure. You ever seen the movie The Big Short? One of the guys bets against the housing market bubble crashing, and he makes a ton of money. Same ideology plays out here.
Yeah.
So, oof, shorts have a time limit on them, and someone from Reddit decided that, hey, we're gonna pump this shit up until they lose money. This is national news. National news.
Yeah, with Fallout.
Yeah, you got people are losing billions of dollars, not regular people. You know, financial institutions are losing billions of dollars. You know who doesn't like losing billions of dollars? Financial institutions don't like that. Especially the fucking normie neckbeards on fucking Reddit. So, I spent last night joining them. And the new target is AMC Theaters. LOL. And I pumped $500 into it. If I lose money, I'm not sleeping. I'm not losing sleep over $500 or $200 if I lose money. It's the experience that I'm paying for. This is the funniest shit I've ever been a part of. It's like a financial like reckoning. Like the people have taken to like Robin Hood and Weeble to take back their fucking money. It is hilarious.
The target is hilarious too. It's like they've been plotting this their whole lives. They're like, if GameStop had been paying them, you know, a fair price for their resells, this would have never happened.
Well, yeah, it's basically if you notice the trend, the top 3 ones I think that they're doing right now, or 4, is GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, and Nokia. What are these 4 companies have in common? They're like relics of the past.
Mm-hmm.
So people are betting against them to fail so that they can make money. So people are recognizing these companies that have a lot of, you know, people rooting against them and then going the opposite way to fuck them out of money. It's hilarious. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen online. Bar none.
It's amazing.
2021 is delivering. I've never in a million years, because I did notice like a lot of people get into stocks. Did you notice that at all? With
Maybe
the whole
because they were
pandemic
bored.
thing? Yeah, like being home and, you know, spending their like unemployment or something, or like nobody's going out as much, so they have like some more income if they're still working.
Yeah, I got into stocks too, you know, the turnip market.
Yeah, the other one. But yeah, that's GameStop. Let's talk about the actual stock market that matters, Animal Crossing. Did you see the video for the new thing?
No, I only saw pictures of Carnival.
Yeah, so
I didn't want to watch it. I kind of want to be surprised by the content. Like, oh, pretty as I earn it.
okay, cool. So I won't give you too much, but
you can tell me. I just don't want to see everything.
All right, so there's gonna be a free update. That's coming out tomorrow, the 28th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there's quite a few things in here. I've heard a lot of criticisms, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a little dancing thing. Like you have a little peacock that you can get. I don't know. There's like feathers, dancing peacocks. Who knows? I do think it's still wintry in the background, so I don't think the winter thing is going to go away until like maybe March when the game came out.
With the season change.
The season change. I don't think the season is going to change here.
No, I mean, like first day of spring. I think it will become spring.
Right. Yeah, good point. Stupid. So, yeah, I see some like Valentine's Day stuff. some dancing stuff, maybe some new emotes, maybe we
Oh
might be
man,
getting.
there's gonna be cheese for Valentine's Day. People are gonna have their dates.
Yeah, that's yikes. But I don't know. How do you okay, so the criticism, a lot of people are criticizing Animal Crossing for trickling out content. Apparently, I've never played. Have you played New Leaf?
No. Yes. I played a lot of it.
Okay. Would you agree that a lot of things that are in New Leaf are not in this game?
Yeah, New Leaf has some really cool stuff.
That's one of the criticisms that people are saying, that there's a lot of things that they could have put into this game and they're just kind of like trickling out. Like they're not charging any money for it, so I'm kind of like, like start complaining, let them do what they got to do. But in my opinion, this game deserves a 1 year patch, adding most of the stuff and a lot of quality of life. There's still a bunch of stuff that annoy me about this game.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend has like 300 hours at this point in this shit. So she's starting to realize all the little annoyances that I've had for months.
Yeah, as you become, a jaded veteran.
It's beginning. So yeah, I mean, they did tease something that's coming out in March, and there was a Mario Star and Mario Mushroom on the Animal Crossing logo. So
Really?
yeah,
Ooh.
who knows? Maybe it might be one of those, little small events again. I think it's still like the 35th anniversary, right? Or was that just 2020?
No, you mean this year's the 35th anniversary?
Yeah, I is it? I don't know.
I thought it was. Well, in 2020. Anyway.
Well, we'll see.
I really like it. I want to see a Mario crossover. I wish there was a New Leaf crossover, but I guess they're keeping them strictly two separate games. But it would be really cool if you could be playing on mobile and it would affect your.
Wait, was New Leaf mobile or was that on the 3DS?
Oh, shit. What was the mobile one?
I don't know.
I thought it was New Leaf. My bad.
No, New Leaf is 3DS. Animal Crossing mobile? Wild World?
No.
No. Pocket Camp.
Hold on. Thank you. Sorry, I confused New Leaf with Pocket Camp. I don't know how I did that. I love Pocket Camp.
Yeah, I would argue that New Leaf is a mainstay entry and that the features should have carried over.
Just some sort of crossovers, but Mario sounds really cool. Let's do it. I think it's a little weird, but because Mario's like a human, there's no humans. NPCs, so be interesting.
I mean, oh man. Imagine if they put Wario's thick donk in this game.
What if Tom Nook all this time was a Tanuki? Mario's gonna wear his skin and fly away.
Trail.
I'm full of ideas. Hire me, Nintendo.
Yeah, but this is cool. I'm glad that they're still pumping out free updates. One other thing. Do you think that this game will ever get a paid update, or no? You don't think this?
No.
No, right? Too many kids?
No. Because, well, the Luigi updates were there was a paid DLC. I don't know.
I think the safe bet is to say no.
They haven't been doing it yet, so why would they start? Like, it was definitely planned. They were like, oh, we're going to suddenly charge for the Luigi DLC. But that was like a chunk of new and different gameplay.
really quick, if you are interested in a new Switch, there are 2 new models coming out. 2 new special edition models.
They look sweet.
Yes. I like the Mario one more than I like the what is this? Monster Hunter Rise.
Mm-hmm.
So Monster Hunter Rise to me looks like somebody slapped some decals on the gray Switch, but I'm not opposed to getting the Switch Pro controller. The Pro controller looks pretty cool.
I do like that with the gold. It looks really pretty.
Yeah, and it seems I don't remember. It looks a little bit more textured on the grip. I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, if you have a Pro controller, I wouldn't even get this because you could probably buy like a plate for it. The Pro controller is one of the easiest controllers to fix, repair, mod, change the grips, the face, everything. The buttons.
I have my little key cap. Are they called keycaps? Thumbstick cap. You can get really cute ones.
Oh, like they go over the thumbsticks?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of those. But some of them look cool.
You're not a good weeb then. Get you some kitty paw thumb, grips.
Let's not. But the interesting thing about this controller, though, specifically, is that they repurposed a lot of parts for this controller. So, you know how if a controller battery, internal battery dies, it'll probably be very difficult to 1, repair it, 2, actually find a part. The battery in the Pro controller is the same battery they use for the Game Boy Advance. So there's probably hundreds of thousands of sellers for just that battery because retro is so huge, right? Especially with like Game Boys and all that other stuff. So getting a battery for this is not a problem. And modding it super easy. I don't think you need any special tools. You just need like a Phillips screwdriver and parts, which are pretty much readily available.
Modding makes me really nervous.
Yeah,
Go
ahead.
I bought a case, like a really pretty pastel purple case for my Switch to mod, and thankfully you were like, don't do that.
What, the back?
No, the whole, like, I was gonna replace the whole case. Yeah, I thought it would be pretty. I thought it would be easier, and then it arrived and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What have I done?
So the Mario edition for the Switch looks pretty fucking sweet. It's all red. I'm a little biased because I like red. But the Joy-Con grip is blue, so when the Joy-Cons are in the grip, it looks like Mario's, like arms and like belly or something like that, or like his legs or something. It looks pretty cool. It's very simple, understated. There might be a little like decal cutout on the back of it, and it comes with a free case, a carrying case. So no game though. I think Nintendo does not like giving their games for free. The Animal Crossing one didn't come with a free game.
So I mean, what game would come with it? The new Mario, like Super Mario. What did I order?
3D, the Bowser thing.
Yeah, Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, I think
oh, how cool would a Bowser Switch be?
I'm not against that. Anything different, like it has to be different. Like it can't just be gray with something like plastered on it. I know this one is still not that much different, but at least the body is red.
Yeah.
Which, makes it different than any other one. I still think the Animal Crossing one is the best one.
There has to be people collecting every Switch, right?
I think so, yeah. People with disposable income.
Huge Nintendo fans.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures online of people having massive physical game libraries
Mm-hmm.
for the Switch. I'm like, dude, where are you finding these games? And they're probably like off the
Japan.
cuff games. Exactly. Like imported games.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So, you want to talk about anything else before we move on?
No, I'm just looking forward to the carnival. I think it's going to be really pretty. I'm ready for something besides catching those fucking snowflakes. But yeah, Animal Crossing. Thanks for the new update.
Don't disrespect the Snow Boys.
Kick them into the river.
Yeah, so on our website, we have a Discord link where we watch movies every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
Mm-hmm.
We watched this week Burning. It's a Korean movie. Next week on Monday, I want to say that's February 1st. Hello. We're going to watch
Ugh.
The Little Things with Denzel Washington, Mr. Robot, and Bootleg Joker.
Okay. Jared Leto, Rami Malek, and Denzel Washington.
There you go. Join us. It is on HBO. It is a fun time. Sometime in the future, within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to be watching a doubleheader. But it's not going to work. We're not going to watch 2 movies on Monday. We're going to watch one on a Friday when this releases, sometime during the day. We'll let you know when that happens.
Friday in February.
A Friday in February. We're going to watch Train to Busan, number 1, number 2. I want to watch number 1 again because I forgot what the hell is in that movie. And then number 2 because I think it just released on digital rental relatively not in the past.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even a fucking word. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna watch that. So before we get into that though, remember, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking stomach if you don't subscribe to the YouTube and go to the fucking Discord. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wandavision, spoilers inbound, episode 3.
Yeah. Gonna be spoilerific. If you're interested in the show, please go ahead and skip ahead like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
But WandaVision, I like this episode a lot more than the first 2. What did you think?
Yep. Okay, so when I initially finished watching it, I said to myself, Disney should have started with the first 3 episodes released instead of the first 2 because
they're so short. Right.
But what happens in this episode would have hooked people like, oh shit, I need to tune into the next week.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And apparently critics got the first 3, but we didn't.
That's why they were so hype.
Yeah. It's not good when the hype by critics is so much higher than what's received by the people.
Right. Because the first 2 were kind of like, slow burns. Let's see what happens next. But the third one really kicks it up a notch. I want to say, okay, let's talk about what happens. So Wanda Maximoff is pregnant. Hello.
Well, no, we're in the 70s now. We
jumped. Oh yeah, the house changed, didn't it?
Yeah, and she had long, thin 70s hair, and like he had glasses and a totally different hairstyle. Yes, this was very clearly the 70s.
And the intro changed too. Was that the fucking Brady Bunch?
Yes.
You would look familiar. Was the Brady Bunch even in the 70s?
Yes. I'll double check that. You keep
Okay, so Wanda was pregnant, and this was kind of one of the funnier episodes, I think, at least. Especially from, it was in the 70s, by the way, 1969 and 1974.
Mm-hmm. You beat me.
Yeah, Vision's humor on this one was a little bit more funnier to me. The whole, I'm going to be a dad, but I'm scared type thing, even though I'm like a superhuman computer organism.
Yes. His jokes were better.
Right. I like that. One of the characters I didn't want to say anything last week because I didn't want to like throw anything off.
Mm-hmm.
But she looked very familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was a little scuffed, like she looked out of place, and she looked like she didn't belong there.
Are you talking about Catherine Hahn or someone else?
Um,
The neighbor?
yeah, the one that doesn't have a house.
Yeah, you're right. She's just always kind of there.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she was in Captain Marvel. I'm not entirely sure,
Okay, I'll look that up too.
but she looked very familiar to me, and something obviously is going wrong, right?
Yeah, it does a really good job of making it like you feel like something's wrong.
Maybe she's not in Captain. She is in Captain Marvel. Maybe she's not.
Gosh, how are you faster than me?
Twitter fingers. So no, she's not in Captain. Wait. So hold on. So on her
Sorry,
credits. So what? This is live. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe her name is not Catherine Hahn. What is her name?
Her real life name?
Yeah.
Tiana Paris.
Okay, we're thinking about different people, I think.
Is this not the same person?
Go ahead.
This has to be the same person. Geraldine, right? That's her name in the show?
Tiana Harris is the name of that actress?
Tiana Paris. Parris.
Oh.
Okay. I'm thoroughly fucking confused.
Yeah, me too. I recognize the actress Tiana Paris, but yeah, we're talking about two different women.
Very interesting.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, she looked very out of place for me. Apparently in the comics, she is the second Captain Marvel.
Oh, she's shit. Yeah, I forgot the best friend's name. Maria, and she became the daughter of Maria, right?
Yeah?
Wow, we are just like not on the same page.
No. So, okay, she looks very similar to the mom. That's what I thought they were the same person, but they're not. Lashana Lynch plays the mom in Captain Marvel. So,
Monica Rambeau. Oh, that's a spoiler. She is Monica Rambeau or Geraldine. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
so initially I thought that she was the mom. Kudos to Kevin Feige and whoever cast her, because she looks almost exactly like Maria Rambeau in Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was set in the 90s. So there's like what, a 30-year gap? So this is 30 years after. So maybe the timeline of this positions it square in like the 2010s, maybe late 2010s. Because I think she was like 9 or 10 years old, but she looked very out of place. Anyway, she said something to Wanda towards the end of the episode talking about her brother. And I don't know, did she like skeeve out? She like freak out? I don't know what happened.
On this. Yeah, this nuances. You picked up on it more than I did. I thought the neighbor was sketch. Her name's Agnes, by the way.
They're all sketch. They had an interaction between, it was very like I don't know, Twilight Zone-ish, Twilight Zone-esque, where like they're not there they're against their will, like Get Out or something like that, like they're brainwashed or something.
Well, Wanda has control of this world. Like she can fast forward or rewind to escape scary situations or like, dangerous situations.
Yes, I noticed that too. But what I didn't notice, what I didn't get really was, okay, so is there's a question I have: is Wanda under like being brainwashed or under somebody else's control, or is she the puppet master, and the puppet is Vision to keep him locked in this place? Because she multiple times has said no or rewound it, like you said, when things get a little dicey, when Vision specifically starts acting out of character. And then towards the end of this episode, where he started noticing shit was like a little weird, like the neighbors were talking to one another, but the guy was like, he was like trimming his hedges, but then, you know, just casually was fucking hedging his, you know, concrete fence, which was a little,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was Truman Showish.
Yes. Yes. That is what I was looking for. So yeah. I think the secret is that they're there as like, oh, another reference was USS Callister from Black Mirror, where people are there against their will.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. I think that's happening here. But I want to know who is the mastermind. So obviously Maria Rambeau, or her daughter, is not part of this world. She didn't have a home. She just popped in. Didn't really know the rules of the land, even though she was there before Wanda, and kind of took her off guard. And then said something to her to throw her off. And I think Wanda was the one that fucking yeeted her out of there.
So just to be correct here, clarify. It's Monica Rambeau, the daughter of Maria.
Right, yes.
It's not Maria. Okay.
So, yeah. We're getting little tidbits. So, obviously... Okay. So many things. What do you think about how they're trying to tell this story with like the veil over your face of like masking as something else, like the 70s, the 60s, etc., the 50s?
I'm hooked now. Like, I'm really looking forward to the next episode.
It's a good breakup, right? Like, it's not totally Marvel.
70s is awesome too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm totally down for this shit. This shit is really cool. I don't know what, because we got a comment from Lagnus explaining, you know, a certain faction in the Marvel universe that I wasn't aware of before.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, I'm not super like, you know, nerd boner for all the off the cuff Marvel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it has some teeth. That theory is because of the pendant that Monica was wearing, or Geraldine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the mix-ups. I would like to see more of like what's happening now. Where the hell are they? Number one. And then when she got yeeted out of the place, why were there so many like military personnel to like point guns at her while she's like on the floor, potentially hurt?
I don't know what's going on. But I listened to a podcast with Paul Bettany. Now he was doing all his press, but this was a little bit different. It was just kind of a conversational style podcast instead of him doing an interview promoting the movie. And everything I've heard him say, or like seen quotes or heard him talk about WandaVision, is he just says it's like wonderfully weird. Like he just says it's absurd every time. And so I don't know, that has me hooked. I love different and weird things. So if people don't like it, I understand, but I like it. And it's cool that it's different. People maybe do have superhero burnout, right? Or maybe they're still traumatized like my poor mom from Endgame. So maybe this is a nice little palate refresher where it's a bit safe.
Yeah, I think so. I think I think going the traditional Marvel route telling the story of what happened to, uh, Scarlet Witch and Vision beforehand. Because spoiler alert, big spoiler alert, Vision's dead in the Marvel universe. He's gone. He done.
Sorry, Mom.
So you're going back and reversing it to tell a story in such a, I don't know, like a cinematic flex.
Mm-hmm.
To revisit all these like classic TV shows and classic eras of TV. I think it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. I like it.
Well, they got a baby now, so what do you think's coming?
They have 2 babies.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think they're real.
Wasn't she a twin with her brother?
Right.
Wanda?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's real at all. I think it's just I think Vision, honestly, if I'm going to make a prediction, I think that Vision and Wanda are one of the 2 most powerful MCU characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
She almost took out Thanos in Endgame, I believe. Vision is obviously the only person that defeated Ultron in Age of Ultron. And he took a back seat for a while. Like most of the characters that are powerful take a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
It would be no fun having them around all the time. Just like Hulk took a extended vacation to Ragnarok. Or not Ragnarok, wherever he was. So, yeah, I think that they are both under control. And this story, this short series, is explaining how they got out and they were on the run.
Mm-hmm.
For, in between, I think, Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm excited. This is I look forward to this shit every Friday.
To me, I do too. But to me, it almost doesn't matter where in the timeline we are, right? Like, it's all good. I want to see where it goes. I guess that's really important to some people, but for me, I'm just enjoying it for its weirdness.
Important. Okay. I think it's important because when you put so much effort into like the whole continuity of your universe,
mm-hmm.
and you would take such a risk of having 2, I wouldn't say off-brand, but unpopular or not as popular characters, as far as like the big 3, right? Like your Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Like,
I think people are a big fan of the Scarlet Witch, or is it Red Witch? Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
More so than Vision.
I would argue he's more powerful.
Oh, I thought you said popular.
Popular and powerful.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're both niche is the word I'm looking for. And to take a risk to put them in a show, I mean, obviously it's Disney Plus. Disney has money to burn.
Mm-hmm.
But there has to be a purpose, right? They have to get to some end goal. Don't know what that is.
Some end game. Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to know what that is. Especially putting a character that's supposed to be in a sequel movie, Monica Rambeau. She's supposed to be in a sequel movie, so obviously she doesn't die that we know of. Yeah, there's some bigger things at play because there wasn't any Marvel movies this year or last year, and I don't think there will be this year as well, unless something radically changes. Yeah, we'll see. I'm here for it.
What if it ends and none of these, like, oh, this is in the timeline where it fits, or just what if it just stands alone as what it is? Will you be like, this is a failure of a show?
No, as long as it's good, I will be okay. But I'd be content with it. But I just know that there has to be some higher purpose on why this show exists.
You're right, because there's been Hydra Easter eggs.
There's been a lot of Easter eggs. ton of them.
Okay.
They
All right. Well,
because okay, if I'm not mistaken, Scarlet Witch is the kid of Magneto. Marvel just got the rights to use the X-Men not
okay.
too long ago. So if this is some setup to throw in some X-Men characters, because another thought that I had was this whole assuming that they're in a bubble, a mind control bubble. This is very Professor X-ish.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Jean Grey. A mutant that's a tier 1 mutant.
Right. This is something very. I don't know. I hope if okay, if the X-Men in some form or capacity are hinted at or revealed in this show, I will literally cream my pants.
Gross. Okay.
Soiled. That's my statement. That's what I stand by. If that's the case, I just thought that saying Wanda Maximoff was a little weird, but we'll see. Put your nerd boners away. Not yet. Hold the line. Anyway.
All right. Well, I can't wait till Friday. We'll get episode 4.
Yes. I think it's 8 episodes, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Hopefully we got another month of this. I'm enjoying watching it every week. And it looks fucking fantastic on the TV.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Even in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
It works. Thank you, Marvel.
Let's
Love
talk
you,
about
Disney.
Burning.
Yeah, so I chose this movie. I was interested in doing like a little mini Korean film fest. And so last week we watched Time to Hunt, and this week we watched Burning. Burning didn't have any actors that I recognize. Did it? Did you?
Yeah. I think his name is Steven Yeun.
Oh, duh. I'm sorry. Obviously.
Yeah, Steven Yeun is from The Walking Dead. That's where I know him from.
Yeah.
But he is, I believe, a big actor in Korea.
I mean, I hope he is. He's very good. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, he was good in The Walking Dead, but acting in another language, I'm sure that's no small feat. So props to him. And I think I liked him even more in a Korean film than The Walking Dead, even though they gave him some great moments in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Glenn is one of those characters in The Walking Dead that one of those staples.
Glenn and Maggie, right?
Yeah, to some extent. I don't know. Maggie took a turn.
I just remember their love story early on.
Yeah, they had a love story, and they had like I don't want to spoil The Walking Dead. Yeah, they had a pretty big story. But issue 100, everybody knows. If you know, you know. Glenn is a very important character. He was one of the longest running characters. I think he started in episode or issue 2. Anyway, Steven Yeun is great.
Good old Glenn.
Yeah, good old Glenn. Yeah, he was the only one I recognized from this.
So I want to give a little bit of a synopsis, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So what happens in Burning is you have a girl and a guy run into each other, and she knows him from high school, right?
Yes, or childhood. Okay,
so a childhood friend. And this main character, he's a son of a farmer. He takes care of cows. Just kind of, like a simple person, just lives a simple life and seems very lonely, right? Seems like it's just him.
Yeah, he's definitely introverted.
He's a loner, not very social. So she really leads in everything in their relationship. Like, they even have sex, and that was like all at her insistence. And she's just really different from him, and she's an interesting character. She reminded me of Clementine from Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, kind of free, young, wild, and free.
Just people would probably look at her and be like, wow, she's crazy. But she literally would just dance to music that nobody else could hear. Like, just that type of person, just on their own wavelength, dancing to the beat of a drum. So it starts off with the two of them. They have a little bit of a fling, I would say. One of the major points is that she talks about loving pantomime, which is she's just living this fantasy, and she creates fantasies. So you really wonder what's real and what's not when it comes to her. And this, simple guy is really caught up in her. He goes to pick up her from the airport. She didn't tell him that there's a guy with her that she met while she was stuck in Africa, just on a trip for pleasure. And from there, the story becomes a love triangle between the three of them.
The main character, I'm sorry to say, he's a cuck.
Yeah, I kept thinking that. But he's such a shy boy. He was probably a virgin, never had a girlfriend. Just really, he got so swept up in this girl. Like, she really just was this just force that came and hit him and fucked up his life, right?
Yeah, he got caught up in the walls, if you know what I mean.
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that love triangle shit. I don't know. It fit the story. I didn't like it though, but it fit his character. Like, he's too dumb to realize what the fuck was happening. Like, once, okay, dude drives a Porsche, was in Africa, comes there with her, and then she had this weird, I don't know, monologue in I guess the restaurant.
Yeah.
Where she said that she was wanted to die in that moment. I was like, oh shit, foreshadowing.
No,
What the fuck?
what's really different about that? Like, people with depression will say that. I think that's really important. What they did there with mental illness is she didn't necessarily want to die. She wished she could just disappear. So it's like wanting no longer to exist. Like, the pain of existence is so much, you just wish you could fade away. Because if you commit suicide, then you leave behind loved ones. Like, you leave behind this horrible trauma. But instead, she just wishes she could just fade into nothingness and never have existed.
Yeah, but she didn't talk to her family.
Does she have family?
Yeah, she had a mom at that restaurant where Jong Soo was going to. Jong Soo is the main character, the cuckold.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Steven Yeun plays Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl we're talking about is Jaime. So, yeah, she had family. There was a theme that I followed. This movie to me it's a mix of things. There's a little bit of, like you said, the whole mental illness angle with her, especially with Jong Soo too. He got lost in the sauce real quick. He got lost in the sauce. And then Ben, which I don't know, when he came on the screen, I definitely got American Psycho vibes from him, like Patrick Bateman vibes.
Yeah.
When he said, "I've never cried, I don't feel sadness," I was like, you're a fucking psychopath, right?
Yeah, right then I was like, wow. He didn't hide it either. He wasn't living like Dexter. He really was some sort of sociopath, unfeeling, has never cried before. I wouldn't go around telling people that, bud. You're crazy.
Yeah, that's one you keep for the diary.
But I liked how open he was about it. So the movie gets really dark and it gets pretty ambiguous. They talk a lot about metaphors in the movie too. And so then you wonder what is real and what's just a metaphor. So he talks about this really, I wonder if this got lost in translation, but he talks about how he burns down these greenhouses. But it turns out, I mean, we don't know for sure. We didn't see for sure evidence, but through the eyes of Jong Soo, we see what looks like evidence that he's murdering these girls that he wines and dines. And so halfway, through the movie, as the climax happens, Jaime disappears. She just fades away, like she talked about. So you wonder, did she do it? Did he kill her? Like, what was real about her? Because then he returns to her apartment. There's like no cat, like he was taking care of a cat that never appeared. But yeah, you just wonder the whole time what's actually real. And also you wonder what the fuck is happening.
Right. People like that who are suspected murderers have like a type, right? And the type would be someone who is on their own, kind of impulsive, doesn't communicate with their family, and he exploited that, right? Like money, easy life. Because remember, she was struggling with money.
Mm-hmm. She was broke, he said.
Yeah, they explain this, like in a third person kind of view way, where the job she was working, that most girls who do that don't have any money. And then they also explain like the inherent sexism about being a woman in Korea. It's like the damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. There was a feminist like kind of theme going on too, because of how trapped this girl was, and her job was not great. It was pretty exploitative.
Yeah.
Like she would dance to get people to come in to the store.
Yeah, she was a video vixen for cheap electronics.
Okay, not quite, but yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know what was real though, because Ben said she's broke. Ben says she has no family, but she did. She had a mom.
Right, but wouldn't you agree? Like they could take that as you have no family, meaning that you're not close with them, like they've kind of disowned you, because she was so Jong-soo kind of goes fucking crazy, and like slowly goes into like madness, like doesn't,
a slow burn, huh?
literally. He starts stalking Ben. He starts going to places where he might see Jaime.
Yeah, Ben knows where the girl is.
Right. So he starts doing things like altering his natural behavior to force a potential interaction with Jaime. And that's where we get these little tidbits of story that, the mom said, "Oh, is that Jong-soo? Oh, if you speak to Jaime, tell her not to come back here unless her credit is paid off," or something like that. So meaning that she was eating for free in her mom's restaurant. And then, he would go to extremes where he hasn't spoken to his mother in 16 years or something like that, or some long amount of time.
Weird. Him sitting there with his mom. She's like, "Hello, my son. I haven't seen for 16 years." And then she asked him for money. This poor guy, everyone was just bleeding him dry.
Yeah.
And his dad is this like violent criminal. Poor guy.
Yeah. So we also saw that theme in.
Yes, Leo.
Yes. What was the movie we watched with the games? No. We didn't watch
Queen's Gambit.
No. In shit. Alice in Borderland, there was a theme with one of the characters with the mom and the money. You remember that? It was very early on. Whatever. So that's a common theme. And I think Asian cultures is like moms and money. So he went to the extreme of reconnecting with his mom. Obviously, he doesn't want to fucking talk to his mom because if you haven't spoken to someone in nearly 2 decades, why the
Yeah.
fuck would you speak to them now? And he only wanted to know if there was a well near Jaime's house. So we don't even know if Jaime's a figment of his imagination
Yeah, so
or
the well piece is that's true. What if she was just a figment of his imagination? But she tells this story, this elaborate story, like, and she does tell stories where you're like, this is not true. But she tells a story where you're like, this could be true about a well. And some people say it didn't exist, and then someone else was like, yes, there was a well here. So you again don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, is she pantomiming, this story, or was it real?
yeah. And then also we get some hallucinations with Jong Soon too, where he would be in the bed with his pants down. There was a lot of fapping in this one.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah, real awkward. Just furiously, beating his little beaver. And
Just silent fapping scenes. I was like, can we just skip ahead? Like, this movie's over 2 hours long. We don't need all these scenes.
it was a pretty long movie. It was about what, 2.5 hours? Something like that.
It was long. Yeah. Slow burn.
Yeah, so we got a scene with him just like, in the fetal position with his pants like half down. And in one scene, Jaime is playing the fiddle, I guess. The hand fiddle. And we cut to the reality and she's not there. So who knows? But yeah, let's get to the meat and potatoes. So I think that, to me personally, the underlying of this film is yes, it has like the Patrick Bateman type stuff, but I think also he kind of broke because there was a lot of emphasis on him not getting a job, and I think that the person that he was looking after in the court was his dad. And his dad went to jail or is going to jail for, I think, some crimes committed against like an official or something like that.
Yeah, violent things. He like hit him with a chair or something.
Yeah, so honestly, this was the breaking point for me. I think the Jaime, I don't know if she's real or not, but either way, I think it was a vehicle for him to fucking snap. He's struggling, can't get a job. He goes to an interview and they ask him, where do you live? Because if you don't live close, why the fuck would I want you to work for me? If you can't be here on a moment's notice, it would take you 2 hours to get here at least.
Yeah,
but he just
horrible
leaves.
job.
And this Ben guy, living it up, doing whatever the fuck he wants, having a new girlfriend right after the fact that he may or may not kill, just made him snap.
I love that Parasite type scene where he was driving. He wasn't supposed to be the chauffeur, but it made him seem like the chauffeur of Ben because he was driving Ben and Jaime home from the airport. And like, he didn't know Ben was going to be there. So Ben's in the back seat, just being a douche, talking on his phone real loud. And he says he was talking to his mom, but he was not. He was being very flirty. That's gross if it was his mom. So I like that scene where you could just see Ben and then you could see Jong-soo driving him. It reminded me of the dad driving the mom in Parasite.
Yeah.
Just two different worlds. Just a world, worlds a world apart.
Yeah, I think this movie is a little bit better than the one that we saw last week, Time to Hunt. Only on the basis that it was ambiguous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it gets you talking. And I think most of it for me is like some dialogue gets lost in like the translation. Like I'm pretty sure that if I understood Korean, there would be a little bit more nuance in this one. At least it wasn't as fast as Time to Hunt. Because Time to Hunt, I had to like, put the eyes into overdrive to actually read those shits because it was going like fucking a mile a minute.
Yeah, the action movie, yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed this film. It was a decent film. I enjoyed
Well, do you want to say what happened? The climax, and finally, the climax happens
Yeah, you
where
go ahead.
Jong-soo. Go ahead. What?
No, you say it. Go.
Where Jong-soo stalks Ben to the point where he takes. Okay, again with the Chekhov's gun, we were shown this collection of knives at the very beginning of the movie, and then he has one of the knives and brutally gut stabs Ben, and then sets his car on fire and walks away.
Yeah, he guts that motherfucker like a fish.
It's ironic that we didn't have any true evidence that Ben was this serial killer. Maybe he was just a psychopath and he really fucked with these ladies like emotionally, or so that they did disappear in the end, like they just became shells after he tossed them. But we have this brutal scene of murder that happens. So in the end, Jong-soo is as bad as Ben, if Ben even committed the crimes that Jong-soo suspects.
Yeah, and it's also like a metaphor. Like he took off all his clothes and burned it in the fire. He also burned Ben in his Porsche. Just plopped them in there, let that motherfucker fry like bacon. So one of my favorite shots. This movie was beautifully shot, by the way. Really good. Thumbs up. But the shot at the very end where he's like sitting here butt ass cheeks naked, and it looks very cold. They had coats on. Just driving away, and then this dude's burning Porsches in the back rear view mirror, just, you know, crisping away. Like your own personal air fryer. But yeah, there's not really much to it after that. It just kind of ends. I'm not.
Ambiguously, and we just kind of sat there like, well, what just happened?
Right. We get no resolution on Jaime and on if she's actually alive or dead. We don't know if we saw like a trophy cabinet or something like that, or it could just be just a regular cabinet. Who knows? Who knows?
Also, where the fuck is Jaime? Like, is she in that reservoir that he goes and looks at, or, you know, is she in Africa somewhere? They were like, she's going on a trip.
Oh, also we forgot the cat. So he has her cat and deliberately lied about it. By the way, like, oh, he just got a cat, doesn't know this name, hasn't named him yet. I think the metaphor for you know, the greenhouse was like burning things that are like precious to you. You know?
Or, yeah, what was that metaphor? That had to be lost in translation. Like him being like, I burned down greenhouses. And then there's all these greenhouses around because he's a farmer. So there's all these greenhouses around where Jong-soo lives. I didn't understand that. Like what burning a greenhouse down means.
Yeah, I think honestly, I don't think it has nothing to do with the greenhouses. He he made he made he made it a point for him to say that he does it without a trace and doesn't get caught.
And it's a crime.
Yeah. Like, yeah, arson is a crime, but I don't think you would get a thrill out of it by burning a greenhouse every single time. And
Right.
then you had the evidence of Jong-soo going crazy looking for greenhouses to see if Ben was around. And Ben said that he burned the greenhouse, but I think Jong-soo got the idea of what the fuck he was talking about when he checked the greenhouses every day and none of them were burnt. So
Yeah.
if he said he burned it within the last 2 days, he would have seen it up until that point. Would have probably like confronted him about it. But since he said he burned the greenhouse, had a new girlfriend, and then no greenhouses by him were burnt, and he said he was there to scout. I mean, it's pretty much like a given that she's dead, right?
But he dumped her. We don't know that he's killing these girls. We just see it through the eyes of Jong-soo, who's obsessed and stalking this man.
Yeah, but why wouldn't she go? Okay, so obviously, Jaime said that she respected Jong-soo in some type of way, even though she's boning this dude, she had some type of at least childlike friendship connection, right? At the very base level, where she would call him and say, "Oh, come over," or "Oh, we want to see you," or "I want to come over here," and then that just abruptly stopped after that point.
Yes.
After he said,
"Do you remember why? Do you remember what the last thing he said to her was?"
"No."
He called her a whore.
Did he?
Yeah. That's why it was a rough moment. I was like, oh God, that's the last thing he's going to say to her when she's getting in the car to leave his farm and they had like smoked pot. And he's like, why do you take off your clothes so easily in front of men? That's what a whore would do. And then she doesn't say anything. She just turns around and gets in the car and drives off with this guy. I was like, Jung-soo, why the fuck would you say that to her?
Well, he's obviously fucking mad because he tried to like cuck beg to Ben. Well, I'm in love with her. Like, what, bro? That would never come out of my mouth. Anyway. Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
why. He was this innocent kid, right? Like, really innocent to the ways of the world. Like I keep saying, just a simple life, you know, just sold his last cow. He's fucked. Like that's as opposed to Ben that has all these possessions and this complicated, complex, amazing life.
Yeah, but I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me because if you were okay, so if you would have a fight with somebody, and the last thing they called you was a whore, would that be, assuming you were in emotional peril because you got dumped by Ben, you would at least try to reconnect and say "fuck you" to this person, or get a rebound, or something safe, right?
No, I don't know. A woman scorn, just ice him. Be like, he can think I'm dead for all I care.
I don't think so.
Yes.
No, because of her personality. Her personality was very like
she was
like
fragile,
kangaroo-ish. Like
she was on the verge of suicide. Like that's how lonely and depressed this girl was.
Exactly. So why wouldn't she go back to something that was safe?
Because this man she cared about and thought loved her called her a whore, and then she just disappeared.
I don't believe that because, okay, in the house that obviously was his apartment or something like that in one of the big cities in Korea, when Jung-soo wanted to go to the bathroom, he asked her where the bathroom was. She didn't know. She had to ask him. And that was apparently maybe a month or two after the fact.
Yeah, time went ahead. Yeah.
So, I mean, if they were together for a month, she didn't know where the bathroom was. That means that she wasn't there very often or never used the bathroom. Never using the bathroom there, and you've been with someone for, 1 month and spent time in their apartment. That doesn't line up with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I didn't catch that. That's strange.
Yeah, there's a lot of like conflicting things. Like you want to believe that it's one way and you want to believe that it's another way. Who's to say that they were together at all? But then he also insinuates that they were. Like he basically had "I'm fucking your girl" vibes.
Right.
What are you gonna do about it? Type shit. I have more money than you.
He was so cocky. He portrayed that so well.
Yeah, props to Steven Yeun for this one because he plays the douchebag very well. Even though he's like his nuance, like personal nuance, like how he is in like interviews and stuff like that. I don't know him in real life, but it's very similar. But he puts on this like asshole-ish tone, which kind of works.
He was just really cool. Like even he's like the Great Gatsby. He was just effortlessly cool. And I love this one shot they had of Ben just shoulders back, hands in his pocket with these, really fashionable chic sunglasses on, and then standing, 5 feet next to him, also looking at the sunset, was Jung-soo. And he was like slouched over, terrible posture, just really looked beaten down, insecure, had no power, like pretty impotent looking, just really defeated. It was amazing how the acting was just shooting off the screen, even though there was often no dialogue. Like there was a lot of quiet moments in this movie.
Yeah, this movie, you know what? I changed my mind. This movie was a really good movie because we've been talking about this for a while. Mm-hmm. And movies like this that get you to think and get you to they're ambiguous to a point are thumbs up.
Give it a watch. I'm sorry we spoiled the whole thing, but if you like Korean film or you're really like, what director did this film remind you of? Like, was it like a Fincher or like a Lynch, or like, I was just like, it had such a dark, ominous vibe. Like, I'll have to go back and look at some like other movies, but it just reminded me of something so strongly.
I don't know.
It's a bit of an art film. It won like some sort of obscure award at Cannes.
I want to say it's like Charlie Kaufman-ish. Especially with his last film. I'm thinking of Ending Things. I don't know. I have to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm blanking.
We keep thinking about it. So gonna keep talking about it. Now let's see, we saw it Monday. So 4 days later, still talking about Burning. Good film. Really glad that it did a little mini Korean film fest. And if you guys have Korean films you like or you'd like to recommend, please, or foreign films,
yes,
let us know. Like, what are we missing? Because we're really interested in that, seeing good cinema. Let's watch some films.
Any foreign films. I know there's a good French film. I'm blanking on the name, but there's a lot of like solid foreign films.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, anything to add for Burning?
Nah. Watch it. It's good.
Well, if you've gotten this far, thank you. This was supposed to be a short episode, but here we are. Thanks for listening to episode 58 of Lower Bitrate. Again, check out our website at lowerbitrate.com. You can find all our links. And have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.